Lads, it's Tottenham. With those three words, Sir Alex Ferguson summed up the difference between United and Tottenham during his time at Old Trafford. One was a ruthless winning machine collecting trophies every May, the other a side easy on the eye with the occasional memorable moment, but with a flaky streak that undermined their attempts to reach the top. It was a team talk from Ferguson given before Spurs arrived at Old Trafford for one fixture, and, however often he used it, it generally did the trick. United dominated this head-to-head in the Ferguson years, with their psychological hold over the North Londoners summed up in the White Hart Lane clash in September 2001, when Tottenham led 3-0 at the break only for United to roar back and win 5-3. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came off the bench that day, no surprise, but didn't score any of United's 5 goals surprise, so he knows all about just how vulnerable Tottenham were in those days. United's caretaker manager has been leaning heavily on Ferguson since he took up the reins at Old Trafford in December, with the Scot seen at the training ground, while Solskjaer has taken nuggets from his management style into his own career. It's all worked perfectly so far, with the caretaker manager holding a record of 5 wins from his 5 games in charge, and the mood at Old Trafford is much brighter than it was a month ago. But his first major test in the United hot seat arrives at Wembley this weekend against those familiar foes in Spurs, and it's unlikely Solskjaer will be borrowing his mentor's old line, "Lads, it's Tottenham," when his players gather in the away dressing room. It's not a tag that they've shed entirely. For all Mauricio Pochettino's good work with the club, they still have only won one trophy, the 2007 8th League Cup, since the turn of the millennium. They're on the fringes of the title race this season, hanging on to Liverpool and Manchester City's coattails, but just as they looked to be closing the gap, they were beaten 3-1 at home by Wolves over Christmas. That was a very "lads, it's Tottenham" moment, but they are the exception to the rule these days. Generally, this is a very different Spurs side to the one that Ferguson and his United held such a command over. That the fear factor has been shed was highlighted at Old Trafford back in August, when Pochettino's side won 3-0. They will be strong favourites to end Solskjaer's unbeaten start to life in charge at United this weekend, as well. In the short term, rather than preying on Tottenham's mental weakness, United need to raise their standards to reach Spurs' level. There's no doubt which club has the greater potential, and it's only 7 months since United were finishing 4 points ahead of Tottenham, but for now the greater stability and the stronger squad makes Spurs the favourites this weekend. United will need more than a few jibes aimed at the hosts to continue Solskjaer's stunning start.